Welcome back everyone. Today I bring you a ranked game once again, one of my own. This was my second game back after my long break because of sickness and real life and stuff like that. The first one was a little bit, well, it's not even that I lost, it's just that I played horribly. I also played 119th against 2nd Panzergren, and let me tell you, it was straight up not fun. Because 2nd Panzergren is very broken, and I was playing very badly. And second game is, again, as 119th, as you can see, on Urban Frontlines, playing against 119th. Against, I don't know whether this is supposed to be Puke Top or Peak Top, whatever. Let's just say Peak, because I decided to call him that. So a little bit of a weird matchup, because obviously Urban Frontlines is kind of bad for 119th, but obviously my enemy is also 119th, so it's equally bad for both of us, so it's kind of balanced again. I did rework my deck a little bit after the first game, because also, the problem is that I, reworked the deck for the first game. I tried to use the LGB bomber, it wasn't a good idea, so I then reverted it back and tried a little bit of a different build with the Spetsnaz command, because I saw that, I remembered rather, because I've seen it like a long time ago, that Skate was really fond of it, because he said that it's actually a decently good infantry squad in itself, and it can also obviously buff up all your other infantry, and also just serve as a command, so that I could make space in my tank tab for the IT gun, the Rapira, because I could take out one of the T80 BVKs. And I also, as I said, took out the LGB once again, because the LGB is good. It's not bad, it's good. But the thing is, it's kind of like, what do you want to use it for? You don't need to use it to kill heavy tanks. You have the best heavy tanks yourself anyway. ATGMs, that's not really useful to, or not very a good idea to use it, whatever, 270 or whatever, or 280 point LGB to kill a 80 point ATGM, that's not worth it. So it kind of doesn't have a really purpose in this division, I feel like. Because you also already have so many expensive tools either way, that I would just rather fill the air tab with fighters and then the SF-24 HE bomber that then can actually kill, a bunch of infantry in an area, if you do it correctly, or at least suppress them. So that's the idea. So for my own deployment, you can see deploying fairly aggressively, as always, as you do it with 119th, into this area. So the good old Skiffic strat, even though it's not obviously a real Skiffic strat, because his strategy revolves around spamming cheap autocannons. That's why he won 100 games with 4E, and then said, oh, it's only A tier. No, it's... obviously if you say that, 5E and 56Y are S tier, then it is A tier, but I think he even said something like it was low A tier. Like, I know I keep, dissing him for that, but I will keep bringing them up until the end of times, because it was one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard. Like, the guy has won 100 games with one of the most broken divisions in the game, and there was like, no guys, it's definitely not super broken. Not like it has the cheapest autocannons in the whole game that are also forward deployed for some reason, and you get 8 of them. So you get even more? No, I think you get 8 of them. And then also a giga broken air tab, like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, obviously his idea is about, autocannons rushing this and then going from here to here and cutting off the center, which I can't do, because I have forward deployed autocannons actually with the recon BMP2s. But fun fact, they're actually expensive. And they're still broken, but they are at least expensive. So I'm just using the Spetsnaz. Then I have a bunch of Spetsnaz going into this area as well. Because I didn't want him to take the area to then project power over Ivan. So one Spetsnaz and one Spetsnaz OP, and then the Spetsnaz GRU as well, for recon obviously. Here I have a Spetsnaz and 2 Spetsnaz OP into this area, with the Spetsnaz GRU going into the tower here. Then for the left side, I just have two Spetsnaz GRU, one going to the far left and one going more to the center to see whether he does some aggressive plays in the center, which is, I mean, this is very possible, obviously, with the Spetsnaz. I just myself didn't want to do it. He starts with a fighter, which was a bit weird. I do have an MTLB here in the back, so I was hoping that it could get a shot off, but it didn't. MTLB to capture the sectors, and then in the back I have two Rapiras, one going in here and one going in here. Two TO-55s and two Motostroki, and then the Short-NM. All those going into this area as well. He has some infantry here in the BTRs, so I know that he also has some, well, at least some units here deployed. And then I see a pretty massive rush of light vehicles, like trucks, into the center, so I know that those must be all of his Spetsnaz units, and yes, they are. Which is good, because that means that he can't have a lot of units here and here, so I can use my advantage in those areas. Already buying some units to the center, as you can see, to shore up my defenses, so that he can't just straight up push through here and wreak havoc on my backlines. That would be rather annoying. I also had a BRM-1 here, spots the Spetsnaz GRU, very important. It is annoying me with its sniper rifle, but hey, a BRM-1 also does no damage in the Mao. Spetsnaz GRU here are now in a little bit of a bad position, because there's two Spetsnaz here, and I mean the Spetsnaz itself isn't actually the worst combat squad, but obviously it has only 6 HP, and two Spetsnaz are, you know, kind of too much for it to handle. I do get it, go back into the building here, because I want to spot where the Spetsnaz is, because you can see I am coming in with Su-24 HE bomber. So just as I said, you know, the thing I would want to use it for. Unfortunately, the Spetsnaz GRU does die. Didn't survive for long enough, but I see the Spetsnaz moving here in the open, which is very good, because that means that they will not get a bonus from the building cover. Do get a nice hit, but unfortunately don't kill a single one of them. Damaged both of them very heavily, so at least they won't be able to gain any more ground. But a kill would have been even better. Do get hit once, unfortunately, on my way back, but survive. So that's the most important part of this. And while he is pushing forward in this area, I am slowly but surely pushing forward in this area. I don't want to overextend, because I don't want to lose my units too quickly, and I know that there's a Spetsnaz OP there, which can very easily side-shot those TO-55s, and it will one-shot them. Yes, 21 pen against 5 side armor will definitely one-shot. Units here are also slowly but steadily pushing forward, together with the Rapira AT gun as some, you know, bootleg fire support. MTLB command also coming in for this sector. Spetsnaz GRU here catching out the other Spetsnaz GRU in the open. So this will be an absolutely useless battle of the DMRs that will do no damage against each other. Yeah, so slowly but surely moving forward. Now, as I said, I don't want to drive forward here too aggressively and lose my units for no reason. I did try to reroute this TO-55 to maybe snipe some units in the center, but the train wagons here always make it weird to operate in this area. Also, the single vet TO-55 does get the first shot on my TO-55 double vet. Nice. But the second shot will be mine, and this one here gets killed by the Spetsnaz GRU, even though my BRM was right beside it, though I guess it maybe barely wasn't able to see this building, or the TO-55s are just missing each other all the time, even though mine is double vet, bruh. And now it switches fire. Jesus Christ. This, my god, targeting system fucking me over as always, but I do get the kill, but its track's broken, so it is actually completely useless. LGB of him comes in and kills it off, but yeah, because it was tracks broken, actually this is a complete waste from him. I couldn't have done anything with this tank either way anymore. Two Motostroki in the BMP-1 die here for him. Very bad, because he did the thing that I didn't want to do and just drove straight into me. His units here are still dangerous, but Saperi have arrived. Two TO-55s against one of his shouldn't be a big issue. Mi-24 rocket, because I also saw that there was pretty much no AA when I bombed with my Su-22. Jesus Christ, Su-24. So yeah, that was the play there. Kill off one command with the Spetsnaz GRU. The Spetsnaz here a little bit annoying. Will get quite a lot of damage done by the Mi-24's autocannon though. The TO-55s here are shredding the Spetsnaz GRU. Here I was completely mismicroing the command because I just wasn't microing it at all. Could have drove it into the sector and then into this sector a long time ago, actually. And all this while my enemy is at the +2 tick, and that's not very that good. There's a Strelton M here actually now. Luckily it either missed the Mi-24 or it didn't fire at all. Spetsnaz here moving over the open, a little bit dangerous because it could get in range of the BTR shortly. Yes, it does, and it gets the first hit, of course. Yeah, those are very dangerous. With the 21 pen, 750 meter range AT launcher. But here, yeah, he just put it in the open, and there it obviously just died. Now my infantry is just moving forward because I know there's a Spetsnaz squad somewhere here, but it's low HP and it doesn't have any AT. The Spetsnaz OP has just died. TO-55 is still here, which is rather annoying. TO-55 is coming in here, but yeah, there's a Spetsnaz OP, another Spetsnaz OP, and a Motostrelki here, so again, not a good idea. Strelton M dying. Finally remember that I have the MTLB, pushing it forward. Spetsnaz have pushed through in this area. Also have pushed the AT gun a little bit further forward in case I would need it. BMP-1 does get a nice hit on the TO-55 with its ATGM. Gun misses though, of course it does. Spetsnaz on the left has died, very important kill. And another Spetsnaz GRU also dead. There is an OP Spetsnaz here though, which is concerning because it could pop out of the forest anytime and kill my recon BMP-2 or the TO-55. Kill another command here with which he was contesting me in the sector here. Spetsnaz really standing no chance against all of the fire support here and the Saperi as well. So another Spetsnaz down. My BMP-1 on the top side dies though. I do push forward the Spetsnaz OP and snipe our recon BMP-2. A very nice kill I found there. Spetsnaz are fighting with the Rozvedka Saperi, which is a good fight for them, but unfortunately there's a T-80 UT there as well, which is not that good. His Spetsnaz OP here did move forward. I did get my recon BMP-2 and TO-55 to safety before he was in range. He has his own Mi-24 in here now, and I don't have any AA here myself as well. But my Mi-24 and my recon BMP-2 are now actually putting quite a lot of damage onto him. He isn't using his Kokon on the TO-55 for some reason, don't really know why. The duel was actually much closer than I thought, and my Mi-24 very damaged, but still alive. And I did call in a TADU in the center here, because I thought that, you know, that would be very helpful against the TO-55, for example, because that can't do anything against that. Wasted shot on the Saperi, kills it off, but then dies to the TADU. And yeah, now this area here is actually doing very badly for me, and my command MTLB was sniped by the stupid BRDM Concourse that turned up from somewhere, somehow. Rather annoying. Actually, very painful, to say the least, because that means that he will still be at a +1 tick, and I wasn't able to use my advantage here at all. Do kill at least kill the Rozvedka there, but that's really a small consolation prize for the massive advantage I have just wasted on this side of the map. More AA coming in, because obviously I know that he has the LGB bomber. It was only damaged, not killed, so it's still up somewhere. Called in a fighter to kill my HE bomber, but my HE bomber was out for a long time already. Yeah, also kill the BRDM Concourse with the Spetsnaz OP there. Now he has his own helicopter here bullying my Spetsnaz. Do have the Strelton M, but it is out of position to engage the Mi-24, so I need to reposition there. And MiG-29 coming in against the helicopter, even though there's a Su-27 still in my base. I kind of missed that. I thought it was back already. Do now engage with it, and we actually trade, which was very lucky. But I mean, you know, MiG-29 and Su-27 have the exact same armament. Su-27 just has 10% more ECM and more missiles, but the missiles themselves are the same. So always risky to engage a MiG-29 with an Su-27. In this case, he was pretty unlucky because he already got the first hit off and then still died. LGB comes in and snipes the Rapira, but yeah, that's the thing. This thing costs 275 points and it killed an AT gun that costs 80. Oh, I mean, sure, that's annoying, but in this case he wasn't even hit once, so it was not the worst. But it's also just... I don't think it's worth it, because spending so many points that you could spend on a TADU that is still pretty much impervious to a Rapira unless it sideshots it. So yeah, I'm not convinced by it. Going in a supply truck to repair the TO-55. Might seem a bit weird because, I mean, why would you repair a TO-55 ever? But they are actually very useful, or also very important for this division as just, you know, kind of a meat wave kind of unit. So you want to keep them alive, and they have amazing damage output against infantry, and they can also be very useful against fighting IFVs at close ranges if they're double vet. In my cast that I did I actually did it like a few hours ago, but for you I did it I think like last week. Angels use them 0 vet, and I think that's just a mistake because that makes them so much worse against IFVs at close range. And if they're double vet, they just have amazing aim time and you know, a decent rate of fire and also a decent accuracy. So yeah, very important. But well, because I killed a bunch of his, or like a lot of his units here, basically his all attack, I knew that the center must be very clear, and as you can see, it in fact is pretty much completely open. So command is coming in. I think I said that my command MTLB was sniped here, but obviously... No, wait, it was the command MTLB. I have both of them in my deck. Yeah, I keep forgetting what I have in my own deck because I just keep changing my deck so often. Snipe his TO-55. And his Superior RPO here are now also pretty much just stuck. I do see his plane coming in, and it was like going straight for my T-80U, so I instantly knew that this must be the LGB. Smoke off, he loses line of sight, drops into the smoke where nothing was left, and then does finally get killed by the Igla Tunguska and Strela 10M. Better hope that they kill something, or at least hit. So, yeah, that's now his LGB pretty much wasted. Like, what did it kill overall? A TO-55? And an MTL and a Rapira. I mean, yeah, that's not worth it. Also called in a helicopter here, in case he would use his units to drive into my sector here, because as you can see, all my units here have completely died. So he invested a lot into pushing me out of here, which was again a reason why I knew that this was clear, because I saw the massive investment he made into the area here, and especially with the T-80UD, I was sure that like there has to be a lot of units there as well to support it. And so I could drive into the center, and that's exactly what I did. T-80UD is aggressively driving through here, trying to snipe my command, I guess. But I'm like constantly managing to evade him. TO-55 here meets the BMP once. You can see even at a single vet, it's like doing decently okay against the BMP-1. Not great, but okay, even with the duel. More infantry into this town area to finally get rid of all of the infantry that he has left here, and more TO-55s. Also Tunguska. The Igla is out of rifle ammo, actually, not out of not ATGMs, air-to-air missiles. T-80U here took a nice or nasty shot from the T-80UD, but did get a hit in return, and then the T-80UD here got hit by something again, not sure what, and I just called in my HE bomber because this T-80UD is so low that it will most likely just finish it off, and it does. And so I did get more value out of my bomber that's significantly cheaper than he did out of his LGB. I did have to manually target it, but I mean, that's fine. And in this case, obviously, yeah, he could have countered it by driving forward, where you can say, well, that wouldn't be possible with an LGB because you can't out-micro an LGB most of the time. But well, as you saw, that is still possible. You can still out-micro LGBs, it's just harder. And yeah, I am just an LGB hater for 119th, in 1v1 at least. In team games it can be very nasty if you then pair it up with like 76 YA and just spam LGBs like a madman with 4 Su-24 LGBs and 4 Su-24 seats. That's like insane. But other than that, in 1v1 it's just too expensive. Now T-80U's trading ATGMs, I hit, he doesn't. I mean, I am being outfitted by the BMP-1, so I guess it's fair. But yeah, also not doing a lot of damage. Reflex doesn't have the tandem trait, so doesn't do the extra 1 HP damage against Era. Kill off 2 BRM1s, very nice. Those are very important for tank decks, because they provide exceptional recon, and as I said in one of my casts, exceptional recon is like a lot better than very good recon. It's not like just 1 step better, it's more like, I don't know, I think 1.5 or even 2 steps better than a very good recon. So exceptional recon vehicles are very important. Here the TO-55 firing at the helicopter, I do finally notice it. Also T-80U now driving around the corner, and yeah, that's not very good for the TO-55. It decides to engage the BMP-2, which is a good idea, but misses. Also line of sights, by the way. Fun. Finishes off the TO-55. I am at a +1 tick now, but the thing is, a +1 tick isn't actually that much. And he is almost 700 points ahead on Urban Frontlines, which is not that good for me. Luckily, the T-80U here misses my recon BMP-2, so it survives and then he retreats. Do finally kill the recon BMP-2, now T-80U versus T-80U. Do get a nice hit, but still decide to smoke off and save my T-80U. Now here T-80U against UD should be a good duel for me, because obviously the UD is just a straight upgrade. Just has 2 more armor. I mean, that's also it, but I mean, 2 more armor in an armor v armor engagement is very important. Both hit the first shot, and you can see already I have done a lot more damage. Helicopter then also the Mi-8 here, the escort me gets its 2 S-24s on target and stuns him down. But then his Mi-24 gets its co-cons on target and stuns my T-80UD down and also does a lot of damage, so I have to smoke off and retreat very quickly. I don't want to lose this engagement here for no reason at all. Recon BMP-2 on the left hand side unfortunately dies. TO-55 dueling with the T-80U, and the T-80U is just unable to hit. And you can see that T-55 can survive, like, quite a beating. T-80U from this range wasn't able to one-shot it, and then my T-80U drives around the corner and finishes off the enemy T-80U. Very nice! Smoke off against his Mi-24, just in time, retreat and repair. Tunguska snipes the Mi-24, very nice. So that's already, how is it, like 2 or 3 of his T-80Us down, while I haven't lost a single one. That's very bad for him, because, I mean, obviously we have the same tanks, and we most likely have more or less the same availability of them, and even if he has more availability, the problem with the T-80U and UDs is just that they're so expensive that... I mean, if you have... I have 6 Us and 2 UDs, I think that's already close to the maximum of tanks that you will ever need with 119th. That might even be, you know, 1 or 2 heavy tanks too much. If you have any more, it's just very unrealistic that you will ever have the points to outuse them. And here I saw his T-80U just sitting there, and so I put my artillery on him, and then I killed him as well. So this was very good for me. At this point I knew that I was in a very good position, having killed off now at least 3 T-80U/UDs. Very, very nice. Howitzers, I just love them so much in this division. They're very nice, and I really hope Eugen don't overdo the nerfs on the howitzers with their new patch. Well, when the division, well, when the video is out, the nerf will be already in place, most likely. Oh well, the rework, because I don't know whether it will be a nerf, because I said that they will obviously make it, give you the opportunity to adjust how long the barrages will last. So if you do short barrages, your artillery will hopefully still not be able to be counter-batteried, but they might just fuck over infantry howitzers, and this will pretty much just fuck over most of the divisions that are already weak. And SPGs will be even better. Well, yeah, I guess which divisions have SPGs, yeah. The divisions that are good already, so yeah, who knows. Who knows how it will turn out in the end. Do hear a fighter here, and I was floating a few points. And so I decided to call in my 1 double vet Su-27 and MiG-29, just, you know, as a security measure. He does hit me once, but then, yeah, obviously 2v1, and then with the double vet Su-27 as well, he stands no chance. And in this case, I kind of went in aggressively because I knew that he already lost one of his Su-27s. I lost my MiG-29 as well. But overall, still, I could use this engagement to even further my air advantage, especially because he also lost one of his LGBs. So, yeah, just further my air advantage even more. As I said, I don't have the LGBs, but I still have a second Su-24 HE bomber that can really wreck his infantry. And if he runs out of infantry, that's going to be really bad for him. Saperi RPO here. I did replace the Saperi RPO in my deck with the normal Saperi, because I thought that I kind of already have enough RPO units with the Spetsnaz. I would rather have more units, and I can take the normal Saperi upvetted and get actually one more squad, while they will then actually be better in city fighting, because napalm in city fighting is most of the time very useless. So yeah, that's what I tried to do here, repairing my Motoshirki, because obviously I also don't want to run out of infantry. Artillery coming in for my Tunguska, I guess, but yeah, I already moved it up further forward. Actually, that was, I mean, completely by accident. I just wanted to have it closer to the front lines. Turns out I just saved my unit. Very nice. Howitzer going onto the superior RPO in the building. Oh, I mean, once again, just wanting to slowly whittle down all the infantry that he has, so that it will be easier for me to grind through. Another Spetsnaz coming in, and I have my own Spetsnaz here, but actually not that much other anti-infantry squads. I do have the Saperi here, but I mean, I didn't want to use them to fight. I did want to keep them in the tower here to spot, because they were providing very valuable information over the area back there. I would rather use the TO-55s to push in, and I mean the Superior RPO and Spetsnaz will delete infantry, but they don't have any AT between them. And then also, obviously, I know that he has his infantry somewhere bunched up here, so I called in the SU-24. I was still waiting until I would find a good target. I didn't want to just waste it somewhere on the town. Even though actually it could have been a good idea to just, you know, drop the bombs somewhere around here, because it would at least suppress my enemy. Artillery trying to counter battery my artillery, but of course I'm moving. I do spot his Spetsnaz with my own Spetsnaz OP. A little bit annoying because they can't fight back because they only have ATGMs. Not ATGMs, Jesus Christ. SMGs. And yeah, now obviously the AG bomber coming in. Didn't do that much damage actually because he was still in the building. But did suppress him and he will be forced to retreat and only took 2 damage from the Tunguska in return. So that's a trade that I'm absolutely willing to take. TO-55 pushing forward now, doing a lot of damage against the Saperis that have no way to fight back. Spotted the Tunguska for a short amount of time, so put my artillery on the target. Did reroute this little blob here to the right, because I know that there's still a bunch of units here and I want to get rid of them while I'm using my infantry to push through this area. Also, as you can see, I have the Spetsnaz Komoroti now up with my infantry, upvetting the Motostrelki to a nice double vet. Why are they even single vet? Must have upvetted through killing something, because I don't take them at single vet. Interesting. Also will make the TO-55s triple vet, very nice. TADU double vet, so in general it's just very, very nice. Double vet Saperi also. Very potent squad. Do spot a bunch of tanks in the back here, a TADU and a TADUD. So this is a little bit of a problem, because the TO-55s on their own can't deal with those tanks for obvious reasons. And I myself only have a TADU here at the moment. Also I was refueling those tanks, I think, because they were actually running out of fuel. So I will have to be cautious with my engagements. But there is a second TADU already coming in. But 2U against a U and UD, obviously on paper I am still the one behind in this engagement. But we will see how it goes. I do still have 2 BMP ones as support as well. Obviously the good thing of fighting 119th as 119th is that you don't have to be afraid of infantry ATGMs, because your enemy can't have them, just as much as you can't have them. TADU here taking a lot of damage now. Decided to just smoke off at retreat, because there was just no reason to take unnecessary amounts of damage. Because there's a third TADU in the back there now as well. And yeah, well, a 1 with 3 is definitely not a good idea. Spotted the BRM-1 here, quickly got rid of it in case he wanted to try an attack staging an attack from here. SU-24 HE coming into here because I saw a recon squad here, and I want to take away his eyes as much as I can. TADUD here is in a bit of a useless position. He is also targeting my supplies and my helicopter here. Both rather annoying because I don't have that much supply in this deck. Helicopter does survive though, so you know that's the more important unit of the both. And yeah, now I do finally push forward my TADU together with the BRM-1. As Courtney gets shot at by the Tunguska but survives. The strike here in the open unfortunately did die for pretty much no gain, and V8 also does die in the end. He is microing his TADUs here like his life depends on it, because it literally does depend on it. TADUD and the BRM-1 here did kill something, but the BRM-1 does die in return, so I do retreat those units again because I don't want to lose the UD for no reason at all. Tanks here are still alive, but one of his UDs is very low and the other U is also very low. Unfortunately, the TADU here automatically targeting one of the healthier tanks, because it obviously targets the tanks because of stress and not because of HP. I do finally manually target the low HP tank, and just before he was able to get into the smoke, I was able to get my shot off and kill it off. Here honestly could have stayed a second longer and tried to kill off the TADU as well, but Like, there's no reason to be greedy. I mean, I'm already ahead, so I might as well just, keep the trades as positive as possible. He's once again trying to counter battery me, but I am moving my artillery as I always do. Now using this blob to just well, not this blob, but it's 3 vehicles, but those units to support the push here, because I thought that yeah, there's no reason to push into this area because there's no zone imminently here. Well, I was pretty close to pushing into this zone already, so it just made a lot more sense to reposition and fight there, using the command to upvet the TADU and the BMP2, just very helpful in general. TADUD firing his ATGM at the TADU misses, unfortunately. I don't think it would have killed it anyway, though. Yeah, it might have survived on 1 HP actually. Now providing a bunch of fire support on his infantry there. I also just have more infantry. Should also be moving up my command Spetsnaz here to upvet the Saperi there, for example, as well, and also just keep fighting. Because with their 6 submachine guns and their SVD, they are, as I said, they're a decent fighting squad. And then, yeah, TAUD snipes the other TADU with its own ATGM. Does take 1 pip of damage, but that's really not that big of a problem. Plane comes in, most likely another LGB. Oh, it's actually the seat. Oh yeah, interesting. I didn't even turn off the gun on the Tunguska because I wasn't expecting a seat to be, you know, in the game. I mean, he snipes one Tunguska, but in the end it doesn't really matter because yeah, he goes down. She went up with SF-27. He didn't kill any tanks or anything. Well, SF-27 does get killed in return, but he's just so far behind on the ground. Like, I have now killed 5 or 6 of his heavy tanks, but I'm pretty sure I have still kept all my heavy tanks alive. So yeah, he's pretty much dead at this point in time. It's just a question of how far will I be able to push through, and also very important, I am not allowed to blunder, because he still could have 1 or 2 heavy tanks left, and then also the TADBV case. So he still can come back. Game isn't completely over. It's just very unlikely for him to come back. But it's still possible. Oh, just finishing off the few units that are left here. And yeah, finally the Spetsnaz Komroti moving into the sector will put me at a +2. Spot 2 of his Spetsnaz OP in the buildings there. Quickly put the artillery on them. But he surrenders before I was even able to do it. And yeah, you can see that went very well for me. Almost a 2-1 KD. Because I just heavily out-microed him on the tanks, I think. And then also he just misinvested into air and the LGBs and stuff like that, so yeah, didn't go too well for him. And the infantry fight early on was also not that well managed by him when he pushed into my side. So yeah, well, GG to him. Interesting matchup, honestly, with the 119th mirror on Urban Frontlines. A little bit of a weird match. My Mi-24s actually performed well for once. Normally my helicopters are always shit. Not my helicopters, I just am bad at microing helicopters. But this time they performed decently well, I think. This Recon BMP2 really did a lot of damage. Yeah, I think this was the one on the left that held the push there. Killing a 10M Mi-24 OP Spetsnaz BMP1 and BRM1. Very well done. The TO-55s definitely did their job. I don't think any one of them got an insane kill or anything. OP Spetsnaz here, by the way, also sniping very valuable units. Those are just so nice. And they're still like decent infantry squads, so you have 2 of them together. Like, that's 8 special forces submachine guns that can do quite a lot of damage. And then, yeah, but obviously they're just for sniping vehicles most of the time. TADU here did kill TADU and the UD, so this one performed very well. And then also the Recon BMP2 TO-55, yeah, just fantastic. SF-24HE with the Razvedka and the TADUD kill, that was very nice. Seeing the low HP TADU and then coming in for the perfect predictive bombing run. Very well done by me, you know. Gotta say it how it is. Yeah, other than that, again, TO-55s just being annoying but not getting anything insane. The Mista getting one of the TADUs was very painful for him, should have retweeted it further. You really have to retweet a lot on Urban Frontlines to be safe, because line of sights are a lot very weird with all of the high rises. So yeah, I was just able to see it and just finish it off with the artillery. More TO-55s being annoying. Well, Spetsnaz is a very nice kill for TO-55 actually. GADUD. This one didn't kill any heavy tanks, but this one here killed another GADU. And yeah, let's count how many tanks he lost. How many heavy tanks? Oh, sorry, how many heavy tanks he did lose in the end. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I think it's 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I guess he should still have some left in his deck. Didn't take the GADU's double red, so weird. But I mean, overall, he obviously still had massive. I obviously still massively outtraded him, so it's fair that he surrendered. On his side, I don't. Yeah, look at this SU-24 LGB. It's just this TO-55 was out of the game anyway because it was Drex broken and crit still can't be repaired. Lamau, and the repair is 80 points. Like, yeah, cool. That together is like 160 points or something. For the LGB that then just went in and died. That's not worth it at all. TADUG did get some kills, but not anything close to paying itself off. The BRDM 2 here killing the MGLB command, that was actually a very valuable kill. Yeah, and it's almost it. His own artillery only sniped like 2 supply trucks, and that was it. This TADU got a bunch of kills with those 3 TO-55s, 2 BTRs, and a BMP-1. That's just not what you want from a TADU, and this one also just a BMP-1. TADU, the Spetsnaz at TO-55, I mean, that's a little bit better at least, but still, yeah. Just couldn't get rid of my heavy tank, so I did, in fact, not lose a single heavy tank. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. With League coming up, I'm not sure whether I will be playing a little bit of 119th as well. I just never feel really, really good with it. I'm always on the edge of my seat because you're like always one side shot away from losing the game. One misclick and you're just out of the game. It's kind of like Third Armored, but even worse. So I'm not sure, but maybe I will because it's still a strong division. Just have to micro a lot, and my micro isn't the worst. So we will see. But yeah, either way, hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one. Don't yet know what the next video will be because this will be after I have returned from vacation. Let's see. Might be another cast, but not sure yet. So yeah, either way, until then, have a beautiful day and bye bye.